Alright, and with that, we should be good to go. Or shall I say, ret to go. And I keep missing my opportunities to use that phrase. Oh well. So this is Shantae, the Game Boy Color game that started it all. Go ahead and get rid of that file, we don't need it. Because this is New Game, not New Game Plus. So right away, we're gonna go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, go. Now, cutscene skips work a lot differently in this game. You hold down B during dialogue, and then once the dialogue is finished, you have to let go of B and press down B again. Just like that. This first part is RNG. Want to hope for the 5 scripted cannonballs in this area to cancel out the random ones. The ones that actually blow through the bridge like that are all predetermined, and they actually do not have hitboxes, so they will not collide with you. And that was the perfect bridge. Good start to an even better run. So, you, of course, play as the titular character, Shantae, no pun intended, and you are going up against Risky Boots, the infamous lady pirate. The cool thing about this run is that you actually have to read all of the dialogue, since there's no insta-skip, so you can actually kind of figure out what's going on if you pay attention. I'm gonna focus a little bit while I'm skipping text, because you can lose time on text. I save about 20 seconds off of the current second place record holder, just on text skipping alone. It's pretty crazy. For this first level, you have a bit of a cycle to run against. If you do this area properly, you can actually get an early cycle, and using a newly adapted task strat, you can get a super early cycle. So I'm gonna go for the super early for you guys. That was not clean. However, we're still on pace for the super early. That might have killed it right there. Yeah, actually that did totally kill it. Darn. Well, we're still gonna go for the early though. And here's the strat. That is not the strat! Wow, this is not good. Nope. Okay, we got up here. I'll call that a win in my book. Let's go. TLDR, I should be talking to Mimic right now. That's not happening, obviously. So here we go. These Tinkerbats just stole Mimic's steam engine. So of course, since this is a pre-technology society, we have no idea what a steam engine is, but we're gonna go try to retrieve it. If you crouch in midair, it preserves your run speed, so we're gonna be doing that a little bit right here. Let's see. This is an awful first level, but it's good. We'll make it back by getting some clean... Not that. We'll make it back by getting some clean Storm Puff skips later on, which are brand new to the Inner% route. I'll explain them in more detail once we get to them. For right now, however, we have our first boss battle. Man, spank this one extra hard for mommy. Optimally, we will get 7 hits out of the 10 necessary to defeat this first phase. Perfect. It is possible to get 8 hits in right there, but I usually don't. I think I've gotten it once ever. Feel free to ask any questions you want to about this run. I am more than willing to answer them. It does save a few frames if these guys appear in the same window multiple times in a row. That was not the best RNG, but it wasn't the worst either. And that was our first level. From here on out, however, the game becomes a Metroidvania. Which presents its own challenges, as far as routing goes especially. Who's the best Shantae? Yes. Shantae for 14th Doctor, IMO. Aw, no you, Vex. So this is 1 straight minute of plot exposure, by the way. Good opportunity to grab a snack if you want. You won't miss much. Basically explaining how Steam works. And we're off. Once again, we're going to be presented immediately with some RNG to deal with. Over here in Scarecrow Fields, we have to avoid the dirt dogs and the scarecrows. And their spawn points are almost entirely random. I'm going to preserve a little bit of health here. I can also use audio cues to figure out when they pop up. So that's why I'm being a little bit quiet right now. Okay, 3 hearts is... well, 3 hits is plenty of health. If I do everything correctly from here on out, until the first labyrinth, I will not take any more hits. So hopefully that works. This game has had a very interesting history as far as routing and learning new strats goes. A human best of 105 has been summarized in the past. However, since then I have introduced a couple of new tricks and glitches that no one else who runs this game and posts the time on the leaderboard does at this point. Again, I'll explain them when I come to it. But this game was run at SGDQ 2014. And I feel really bad for blanking on his name. Could someone go to the boards and find the current 3rd place runner for this game? He has a 1:11 time. There we go. Saved myself there. A lot of marathon strats getting pulled out here. But now we have arrived at Watertown, our first destination. At this point, we're just trying to figure out what Risky Boots is up to. Yeah, Whooping Long. Thank you very much, Shasta. And he had a very good run at GDQ. Very close to his PB, if I recall correctly. And so that run actually inspired me to order the game, pick it up, run it. I'm gonna pop into the save room here to set our warp marker to this save room instead of the Scuttletown save room. And now we're gonna hit the night cycle, because this game totally needed a day-night cycle, right? So what this means is that enemies become twice as tough to beat. And there are also a couple of other adjustments, which of course, you know, includes aesthetic things such as the graphics and soundtrack. But the most pertinent of these differences is that we are on a timer for the first half of the entire run to reach a certain town at a certain time. Also, that's a pixel-perfect jump if you can make that properly, but I did not, unfortunately. And those wallfish have no hitbox, so that's pretty cool. So here we are at the Dribble Fountain. We're gonna go secure one of the 4 stones that Risky Boots is after. Bolo's gonna give this ball a quick flick of the wrist, hey! And open up the fountain. Now remember that mechanic of the eyeballs, because that's actually gonna come into play in the 3rd labyrinth. So we just barely miss Risky Boots by not moving an inch while she talks to us. And now we have to navigate this labyrinth to find out why she's doing this. First thing we're gonna do is fall down on purpose. We can do some lag reduction strats right here. By jumping high right there. There we go. And we're good. So the labyrinths are my favorite part in this game, honestly. Which I did not expect casually. So this wet gal, yes, she's called a wet gal, has a guaranteed 5 gem drop, which I hang back on purpose to pick up. Coming out of here, we'll want 85 gems. It used to be 60, which we could easily secure from other locations. This is our first and only warp squid in the entire run. Normally we would need 4 warp squids. However, with a new glitch called Squid Underflow, we can circumnavigate that requirement. Tricky skip coming up right here. Got it. And 113. Nautilus, Squid. We have a few of these keys to pick up around the labyrinth. That's our first of, I think, 4. I mean, don't quote me wrong, but I've never actually counted what you get in the labyrinths in this game. Very tight jump coming up right here. Easy. Another 5 gem drop from the scones. We're picking up 25 extra gems because it allows us to acquire Storm Puffs in Scuttletown. And adding Storm Puffs to the route cuts about 45 seconds off of the total expected runtime of this game. Alright, 3, 2, 1, 2. Oh man, I had it. Alright. So we're gonna do that. Grab another 5 gems over there. And hopefully get a... hopefully hit this thing one of these days. Then we're gonna head on over to another area. This is the only time where you can actually save time by doing a Mega Man style jump around the corner. Get hit right there, damage boost. And we're gonna start losing health on purpose, starting in the next room. Because we are going to need as little health as possible. Okay, that was good RNG right there. For this next area, wherein we have a very small time frame in which to get hit and die and warp back up to the top of this room. These guys are complete RNG and they suck. Fortunately, that was really good RNG right there. Those guys are called Wetmen. And... didn't make the blind jump, that's fine. Someone write this down in chat, please. 122. 122 in my shorthand stands for Nautilus Fish Fish. Feel free to type praise it Savaping if you want. Again, gonna get hurt right here on purpose. So now I'm at a half heart. I actually got that mixed up in my head. Let's go. Okay. Now that that crisis is averted, we can kill ourselves right here. Nice blind jump. Got that one. And now we have the opportunity to collect our first transformation dance. This is the only one during which we actually have to watch the cutscene. And now we know how to be a monkey. Using this monkey is going to be one of our greatest virtues in this run because we can actually access quite a few locations with it. You move slightly faster, you jump higher. You can slip through one-tile gaps without crawling. All that jazz. So, the monkey is an indispensable tool. Not to mention you can't beat the labyrinth without it. And RNG. This is where I can really have a rough time if these guys decide that they don't like me. However, it looks like they're giving me great RNG right now. Never mind. Yep, these guys suck. Oh, let's go, dude. Okay. Could have been worse. And yes, the monkey is one of the best things about video games in history. I 100% agree. So this dribble stone is an endless supply of water. Unfortunately, there's a guardian for every stone. Good fight. Messed up a little bit on the second hit, which is very easy to do. But overall decent. I'm gonna jump during this flash. And collect the stone in midair. And this run is officially 1/4 over, guys. Statistically, that is. So coming up, we're gonna have a pretty intense pursuit of the left side of the screen, shall we say. Wherein we need to get hit as little as possible through the RNG fields, so we can have plenty of health to get through the Naga Wasteland immediately after acquiring Storm Puffs in Skulltown. Also, these spiders don't hit you. If you just continue running off the screen, they're supposed to shoot little bullets, but they don't even show up. if you just keep moving. So this screen is guaranteed damageless. Here we go. I'm gonna be quiet for this. Nice, aren't they? Nice, dude. Okay, 3 hearts is perfectly fine. So we're actually going to go into the item shop now and buy Storm Puffs, which are not available in any other town. Now that we have Storm Puffs, we're going to be able to pull off some pretty silly tricks. Which hopefully I can demonstrate effectively. I'm also going to have to take this Naga Wasteland very safely because I need 1 full heart in order to do the strat properly. Well, looks like I'm gonna have a full set of health for this. That's fine. Dying right there is perfectly fine. Just a slight inconvenience. I'm gonna do this on purpose. Okay. Alright, my brain and I need to have a little talk here. This is, like, actually a problem now, because I don't have, I don't have a save place. I actually can't save to make Squid Underflow work. I'm not even sure I can, complete the run as intended at this point. Shoutouts to live choking. It's good stuff. Yeah, cause like if I die, that's yeah, that's ripped me. I literally cannot complete this next area without dying, so I'm actually just gonna go ahead and warp back to my save point and get back my lives. This is fine though. It does mean that we're gonna get a bad cycle, however. Fortunately, I don't need to shop again. So that's 1 plus. And besides, it means the marathon can go on for longer. And that's nothing but good. As a matter of fact, if we happen to get any donations, this is the perfect opportunity while I'm backtracking. Okay, and there's the pixel perfect jump. I was a little bit too far to the left that time. And there's the stopless strat for the fish. We're way ahead of the schedule? Okay. So I can just say that I did that to help the schedule then. Which I totally did, since this wasn't going to be PB pace anyway. Wink wink, nudge nudge. But yeah, we're good. Don't you worry. We're still going to hit estimate at this pace. This is exactly the kind of thing I've accounted for. And I was honestly more worried about my Frogger's Journey run than this game, so... Considering I did just fine in Frogger's Journey, this is perfectly fine. Yes, it was calculated. Okay, so let's show this strat off properly, shall we? See that? That wasn't all that bad. We're right back where we were. And right back to where I've really always been. Whoosh. Hippity hoppity monkey. Look at this movement. This is pro movement right here. Whabam. Perfect. See? I know my video games. So what we're gonna do here is a one-shot trick. Hopefully we get it. If not, we're gonna go ahead and die and damage boost through all the enemies. It's this cactus glitch. Nice, we got it. First try. So now we are in a state where we have taken damage, but we have not stopped taking damage. And because we have not stopped taking damage, it means we can't take any more damage on top of it. As long as we remain in the same room. So, long story short, free level. And before we enter Oasis Town, I'm going to equip Storm Puffs. And I'll show off the first major glitch of the run. Right here in the Warp Squid hut. Remember how we collected one Warp Squid? We're gonna go ahead and kill ourselves. Come back up here. Some heckery is gonna happen. And there are now 2 Warp Squids. Exit and enter to clear the room of garbage data, and we now have 57 squids at our disposal. You can only collect 25 in the entire game, but we have 57. So with this warp dance, we can actually return to Oasis Town anytime we want to, which will save time. On a couple of occasions later in the run. I'm gonna get 3 exit candies. And now we talk to Sky. Forgive my silence while I focus on releasing and pressing B again at the precise moments I need to. Just like that. And we're just about ready to hit on to the Golem Mine, which is our second labyrinth. And off we go. Whoosh. For this, we do have to damage boost. Since I have extra lives at this point, we are going to take some damage on purpose and then fall down a pit. However, we do want to actually clear the level first. So, in an effort of self-preservation, I'm going to try not to die here and zap this guy. Miss. Since it's daylight, just one Storm Puff will take these guys out, but it's no longer daylight, so I have to be a little bit careful. I'm gonna wait this out, let her start moving, so we can hop over those at once. And we're good. Head on down. I literally just said I would die in here, and I didn't. Also, how did I get hit for 2 damage just now? I have never seen that happen. What is Operation ShadowCash? You are currently watching it. A multitude of runners are participating in a speedrun marathon, benefiting Lori the Beaver's, Lori the Bunnikins, friend, Shadowclaw SR. Sponsoring new stream equipment and financial relief. It's possible to do the Min's Desert completely damageless, by the way. Unfortunately, I messed up a little bit there. And since there is the full heal at the start of this next labyrinth, it's not really necessary. But here's why wrench is called wrench. It's very clever. And let the second trial begin. Free heal. Free gems. Did not hop in time. That's okay. At this point we shall come across some new mechanics, such as the blue and the red. This indicates magnetism. So you do have to solve some puzzles by changing colors. And certain mechanics of this labyrinth will be different depending on what color you are. Yeah, Vex, it's great, isn't it? Okay, so through here we're going to start taking damage on purpose in order to lower our health to a point. Perfect. So we're at 1 full heart right now. We're going to take 1 more piece of damage before reaching the final room in this area, not including the trek over to the boss. So what this entails is that I only have 1 more half heart. Remember how we did the warp squid glitch? We're actually going to be doing something very similar right now, using this storm puff glitch that allows us to skip dialogue and cutscenes. So keep your eyes peeled. Starting right about now. There we go. We talked to her at the same time as we got killed by the storm puff. So now we can just use an exit candy to abscond. Now we have the dance and we didn't need to wait through the entire cutscene. Since we have an extra life right now, we're actually going to die on spikes in here on purpose. This will save a little bit of time over damage boosting and killing ourselves the normal way, because we do actually need to game over. right here, we're just gonna crawl backward and poke our hiney, causing us to explode into stars. And we're good. I will continue taking damage here, just to speed up the process later. And bop. Nice. Alright, with key in hand, we shall proceed to the boss area. I have lost 1 heart of health to this boss in my life, ever. Needless to say, it's not exactly a challenge, but the way I've been playing tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if I actually did die on it. So we'll see what happens. It lagged right there like it never does, and it spooked me. Sometimes this elevator can despawn if you get to it fast enough. Unfortunately, I did not. That saves like 3 seconds if you can get that skip. And here's our second stone, the golem stone. So this boss is the mashing boss. GG. And now, remember that timer I was talking about? Now the time pressure starts. We do have to make sure that we hit the proper cycle. First, though, we do have to die on a cactus and death warp. Oh, here's another fun fact. The original cartridges of this game are nowhere to be found. Well, practically. So if you can find a cartridge of this game, an original cartridge, from the initial 20,000 piece production run, then consider yourself lucky. That is, of course, assuming that you can find it for less than $300. FYI, I'm not that rich. I'm running this on a reproduction cartridge. Nice. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. So at this pace, we will hit the night cycle, which will save some time. Also, shoutouts to Sonic, because this game just straight up has the identical enemy. Now there is a strat here that allows you to use Monkey. but it's like barely faster. And it's not really worth it. It's maybe 1.5 seconds faster if done optimally. It's a lot safer to use. That was interesting. It's a lot safer to use Shantae, as I was saying. In her normal human form, or half genie form as it may be. But yeah, I'm gonna... Okay. I have no words. I hope you guys like these first 7 jumps. Because we're gonna apparently be seeing a lot of them tonight. Alright, well, long story short, Black SR, who also has run this game, and had record for about 3 years, uses Monkey in this area. And Monkey is very challenging to control because... nice RNG right there, by the way. Monkey is very challenging to control because there is no neutral while Monkey is in the air. Monkey either goes left or goes right. So if you try to adjust yourself, it can be a bit slippery. Also, sometimes you get hit by invisible stuff in this area for some reason. And there's the night cycle. So getting the night cycle right here actually means that I didn't lose any time, technically, by dying over and over back there. This is the Warp Squid Wagon. We do not go in here. What am I doing? Dude, my brain is just melting right now. So we go in here. We purchase fireballs, which are upgraded versions of pike balls, allowing us to kill bosses and enemies very quickly. And now begins the Ruddy Tops race, which is what I was most worried about during this run. Now I'm not so sure. Watch me nail this, by the way. Aw man, sorry to hear that, Phantasma. Okay, so, this is all memorization. It's a minute long. You have to do the whole thing over again if you fail it. And if you mess up once after the first half, it's all over. So it's up, down, up, up. Down, up, down, down, down. Up, down, up, down. Down, up, down. Up. And we're good. Easy every time. Dude, shoutouts to marathons. Stuff like this happens in marathons. It's great. Okay, so all we have to do now is head on over to the Cackle Mound where the third stone is residing. The Simmer Stone. Which is an infinite source of heat. Oh my goodness, Zero, that sounds so good. Congratulations. I am heckin' proud of you. Also, great RNG once again on those blob guys. I I kind of threw it away though because I got hit. But that's fine. I'm gonna go for risky strats on these jumps, by the way, because I'm already so far behind. I may as well just go for the strats, which I nailed. So here, Roddy uses her leg to open a skeleton key door. Yeah, it's alright. Don't worry about it. So welcome to the Cackle Mound, the lab that loves to hate me. Let's see how this goes. Whoosh. There used to be a frame-perfect trick you could do right here as Monkey that allowed you to skip 30 seconds worth of navigation. However, with new rerouting, it's actually not necessary to even go for it, which thank goodness. And I just got the fast eyeball, which I never have gotten in a PB in the past. So that's pretty cool. Once again, we are going to use an exit candy. How's the sweet and sour run? That is actually very accurate to how this run is going right now. Some parts have been pretty sweet, but most of it has been fairly sour. Still been good pace though. Just overall, besides that one major mistake. Some pretty cool skips in this room. This is one of my favorite rooms. Grab a safety life, because I've been throwing them away, it seems. There's a frame-perfect trick that I can do right here. I did not pull it off the first time. Let's see if I... 2 more chances. There's one. That's something that only one runner goes for outside of my runs. And you have to be at just the right pixel. Alright, so for this room, we used to do a little bit of avoidance, but it is no longer necessary. You just walk on through, since we do have to start taking damage at this point. In order to set up for another Storm Puff skip, you might notice me climbing underneath keys and beginning my warp dances. That's because you can't really do anything while you're waiting for the key to drop. So all you have to do in that situation is just kind of do whatever you have to that saves time. I'm not explaining this very well. I'm surprised my brain isn't like oozing onto the carpet at this point. But that's all you have to do for that mini-boss. I'm going to get hit on purpose once during this fight. That'll put me at the proper amount of health. Since all these guys are on a timer, it doesn't matter how much time you waste, because they will always appear in equal amount of time apart if you have no more backlogged. I'm gonna do this, jump into this bat gal, and here goes another skip. backed up a little bit. We have to wait for this to go out now. There we go. And we're good. Once again, that skips some dialogue. This is actually really bad, so I'm gonna go back in here. I have actually never had that happen to me before. That was good. So that's two things that have never happened before. TM. Oh yeah, this hole is real finicky, by the way. There we go. And thus ends my challenging bits of this labyrinth. So that's it for skill. The rest of it is RNG. So that's fun. In my current PB, I got a 107.36, which by the way is 3 minutes faster than the second place time at this point. Humble brag. But I lost like at least 30 seconds to this boss because it would not cooperate. Anyway, here's the third transformation dance that we did not get to see us get. It's Spoderman. I'm gonna heal up as well. And let's hope for not a hard lock, because that can happen. Here we go. Nice. Okay, cooperate please. He's not cooperating. Cooperate please. Good. Drop him down again. Okay, we got the quick kill. Let's go. Excuse me? How did... I am very perplexed as to how the door did not open there. Was it despawned? Was it off screen? To the point that I... Excuse me? Yep, this is what happened in my PB, by the way. This is exactly what happened in PB. Just that over and over again. But the rest of the fight was pretty clean. On this stone, you actually have to wait for a second. There we go. And we are approaching our final destination. Yeah, this boss is a big ol' heckin' meanie. Pardon my language. Excuse my French. So remember that warp dance we got? We're actually going to use it now. Down, up, right, BA. Oh my goodness, Zero, it must be really good then. Too good. No such thing. I'm gonna take some safety strats right there. So I don't lose too much health. Unnecessarily. And again, this is one of the areas that I tend to have a lot of trouble with. So let's hope I don't fall down a pit at the end of this area. Because that'd be rude. is a little late right there. If you do it just right, you can slip in between those two guys using the God Pixel. The mythical, legendary God Pixel. That right there is Spider Skip. It is free. Reverse Spider Skip, however, is not free. I'll explain what Reverse Spider Skip is after I enter town and talk to totally a genie. Totally the guardian of this town. Bandit town, totally not a suspicious town. Full disclosure, I did not realize that this was Risky Boots when I first played this game. Equally fun fact, when you transform and then change screens, the game remembers what you transformed into. That right there is Reverse Spider Skip, by the way. Nailed it first try. I have lost PB pace to that trick. Only this game could make spiders cute. Ooh, ice cream hype. Ice cream sounds good. I think I'll grab some ice cream after this run. Like if you agree. RT if true. Ah, dude, RNG. This is really bad. Since I did not take safety strats, I actually have to watch out now. Nice. Okie doke, sounds good. I'll see you around. Okay, that's good RNG right there. Thank you very much for the good luck. Apparently I need it. See, I just did that part damageless. This game does not like me tonight. Let's go. That is a big hurrek. By the way, hip's too strong. Also, Shantae is very happy right now. And so begins our fourth and final labyrinth. Ooh, that's a good vappy. So we're gonna be stopping these roulettes at a very specific point with the golems. Because they are one-hit kills with Elephant, and they have no RNG involved. I've never actually gotten that strat right there in a run. I've come very close though. I just ruined everything. Let's go. Perfect ruining of everything right there. So in this labyrinth, we are going to retrieve the Twinkle Stone. Which does something for the steam engine, apparently, but it's never really explained. The entire premise of this game, by the way, is that Risky Boots seeks to use the steam engine for nefarious purposes. And in order to power her new invention, she requires these 4 magical stones in order to reinforce and otherwise make entirely too awesome the powers of the Tinker Tank. No, 0, thank you. I mean, I guess I've gotten pretty good at it. I take some interesting strats here by not healing. This will allow me to take damage in places like these, whereas I would normally strive to avoid taking damage. Now you actually do want to take damage because it allows for a faster setup. And my thumb could not find the select button right there, but if it could, it would have pressed select, and it would have transformed early. That's fine though. Let's slip on down here. Damage boost one more time. One more time. And now we are very close to entering our final transformation dance area. I want to make sure not to miss that one because I'm on my last heart of health. Some of these routes are not intended, by the way, even though it's exactly what I did for my casual playthrough. Okay. We have to wait for invincibility to wear off there, by the way, before we can enter portals. I'm not sure why. Yeah, now that we have the harpy transformation, we can actually get around, I get around. Woo! At the speed of sound. The entire gimmick behind harping is being able to mash the button in order to fly. And so obviously that does a number on runners. Coming up right now is an out-of-bounds clip. That allows us to avoid a lot more puzzle rooms. If you jump right there, you don't get locked into a freeze frame as you transition. Yo, thanks, Vex. So transforming back and forth between Spider and normal Shantae, and then running to the left between each transformation, will slowly nudge you into the wall. After one more of those cycles, I'm going to transform into Harpy, and we're gonna fly. You have to be careful, though, while you're out of bounds like this, because if you fly too high or too low, you will encounter missing no. Hold on. Almost nailed it. I actually dropped an input in there, which is very common with Harpy. And as a matter of fact, it will become immediately apparent once I make it to the final level. We're just gonna transform a few times and clip back in. And now we're Cyborg Shantae. because we didn't touch the ground at all in that sequence. Nah, it's not a Samus Returns run, it's too consistent. Dude, there's no pink! Where is the pink? Give me the pink! So any of you guys familiar with Joust? So yeah. This fight is Joust. Thank you, Dragolina. Okay, that was a reasonable fight. Yo, thanks, down defense. Man, I totally forgot to ping you guys. I assume that Now Livebot, either Now Livebot literally just said I was doing this run, or someone actually spread word in the Discord, but nonetheless, I'm appreciative of your presence. I'm glad you could make it. Perfect timing for that night cycle, by the way, during the big reveal. Oh, dude, Joust is such a good video game. It's the best arcade game. Besides Miss Pac-Man with the turbo chip installed. That will forever be my jam. Erg, merg, free! So here we go. I have one life, I just realized. Which means one chance at this trick. Before I game over. Here's the cool thing though, this run is guaranteed to finish, because if you game over, you just get restarted right back where you left off at this point. So we're gonna talk to this magical spy scope, who will transport us over to Pirate Island, where the risky crew is hiding out. Also, shoutouts to it being daytime suddenly. Thank you, Vex! Pretty much all there is to this trick coming up partway through this level is just placing your mashes correctly and hoping that the game doesn't drop your input. That's all there is. So let's hope for the best. Also, what are hitboxes? Apparently that are hitboxes. Thank you for Ivy soaring in me. I salazzle in myself, personally. Sometimes these robots will be going the other direction, and it's a small piece of time loss. I'm not sure why it happens, but sometimes it does. Anyway, here's a consistent strat that just got messed up for no reason whatsoever. So that's cool. Yeah, that actually isn't consistent at all. It's consistently inconsistent. Normally you would press that specific angle twice, and it would work just fine. But not this time, apparently. Anyway, now we're gonna need all of your blessed RNGs. Go ahead and start pouring them into chat, guys. Because we need it right now. Perfect. So that's the part I was so worried about, where you can drop inputs. But we nailed it. Once again, this is supposed to be a consistent strat, but sometimes it isn't. This time it looks like we nailed it though. That's good. Let's go and grab the safety health. I don't feel like risking anything tonight. I'm also gonna switch over to fireballs. And here we go into the end game, guys. This is it. Risky's going to reveal her evil plot! And we're going to run into her for good luck right here, because they forgot to program not moving in the cutscene. So that's cool. And let the Tinker Tank fight commence! So there's some very specific and challenging strats for this area. That is not a strat. Falling down is not a strat. Let me be clear. Anyway, here they are. There we go. Notice how I transformed during the cutscene. And I destroyed the stone with the same weapon. We have to do that one more time. Nope, we didn't. So that's some time loss. Oopsie. Also, this area is very laggy and it's difficult to work with it sometimes. But we're good. It's a shame that you can't activate weapons like this as creatures. If you could, then this would be absolutely broken. However, we did get one good quick transform in there. And these two are just basically free, so you don't have to worry about them. Also, Vlak has a godlike strat for this area. I don't know how he does it. Gonna go ahead and walk backward for no reason. And now that... Okay, I was afraid the game crashed there for a second, but it did not. Once again, that is something I've never seen before. Let's go! So, final fight time. If the RNG gods are willing, you can do this entire fight without getting hit once, or even allowing her to attack once. Unfortunately, the execution gods were not on my side tonight, because I gave her too much of a threat by getting too close to her. Which is why ducking to hit her during this fight is so OP. You have maybe a 2-pixel window in which you can hit her if you're just standing in front of her. However, if you're crouching, your hair's hitbox becomes extended. And so it becomes a much easier fight. Unfortunately, my fireball ran out at just the wrong time right there. And there we have it. A relatively clean fight. She didn't do the attack where she jumps up to the ceiling and flies around a bunch. Or the gun attack. Both of those can take an eternity, but at this point, we're pretty much home free. Time is on the last note of the end jingle. So once the level complete jingle starts, be ready on time. it's gonna be like 2 seconds after the start of it. At this point, all you have to do is hold right, and you're pretty much in the clear. I have gotten hit once or twice and lost a life at a half a heart during the sequence, but it's very rare. So, here we go. Time! So that's it. Shantae D. Off she goes. And she ascends into the heavens. So now that Risky Boots has been foiled, Shantae passes out and loses consciousness, and blacks out as well. And she also goes down for the count, and enters the genie realm. 1:15:19. Oh, that's not too bad. What was my estimate? 1:15? So, yeah. I'll have to clean up the Naga Wasteland a little bit. That was rather silly. Nevertheless, very satisfied with it. This is my first time running Shantae in a marathon setting. $120 estimate. Okay, good. Not too shabby. Perfect way to bookend this run, TBH. In any case, the genies offer to transform Shantae into a full genie. However, that would mean that she can no longer contact the earthly world. And she would rather be with her friends and help them along with their needs and wishes. So at this point, quick plot summary. The mayor has hired Shantae, assuming she's a full genie, but since she's a half genie, and she can't really do everything a full genie can. And so as the town guardian, she feels really bad that all this happened. And so as a way to prevent this from happening in the future, she decides to tell the mayor that she's not a full-fledged genie. If he's going to keep her as the town's guardian, then he needs to know the truth. And here comes the good old mayor. And he already knows about it. And check out this joke. This hecker. Gonna get you for half price. Ha! What a swell video game. Shoutouts to the 2 times that I thought I hardlocked the game, but I didn't. Shoutouts to the rest of the Shantae community for being probably the most awesome and accepting and chill and cool community that I've joined so far in my entire speedrunning career. Just, like, seriously, every single person in there is awesome. Shoutouts to Grandpa Glasses, who discovered the glitches that I incorporated into the run. The Squid Underflow and Storm Puff skipping. Shoutouts to Black SR, who held the record for a long time. Shoutouts to Turkey619, I hope that I got that right. Or maybe 617, forgive me if I get that wrong. For giving me some tips on how I can streamline things. And, Amethyst for being awesome, JT Norimaki, Tina Hex, all those people. And just every single person who turned out for this marathon and turned out for my runs. And shoutouts to Matt Bozon and Aaron Bozon for both being equally awesome in their own rights. Way Forward is cool. This marathon, though, deserves the crowning jewel, honestly. I've been watching, and I've been having a great time. Also, shoutouts to Jeff Pomegranate for being named after the best juice. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and give my thanks to Piner, Lori, ShadowCash, everyone else involved in the marathon, and I hope you guys continue to enjoy for this final day of a super cool marathon with a very worthy cause attached. feel free to get your donations in. Personally, I recommend donating for the Pepsi Man cutscenes if those have not been met yet. If they have, then go for no pineapple on pizza, because pineapple sucks. Alright, I better get out of here before I get in trouble for that comment. I will see you around, and enjoy the rest of your night.